Today, we're going to have a chat with two young, ambitious women from Tanzania and Kenya. They are students here in Finland, and they want to share their experience about education, culture, and how they understand their obligations as young African women. It's also an occasion to discuss with them what opportunities are there to get a job in their respective countries once they have ended their studies. My name is Thierry Francis Mbabane.
My name's, or full name's Elisabeth Wamboi, but mostly people call me Liz. I'm from Kenya, and I'm a student here in Finland. I've been here 7 years. I work part-time and study full-time.
Liz, you already did your graduation, I guess?
Yeah.
Was it in marketing?
International business.
International business.
Yeah.
And now you're looking for a job, or
currently I'm looking for a job still in international business. But now currently I'm back to school to study and expand my knowledge in other things. Like now I'm doing nursing.
Yeah.
So because I was thinking if I'm still looking for a job, I should expand my knowledge so that I don't just wait and get a job in what I've already have a degree in.
Creating more opportunities to...
Yeah, it's it opens more opportunities because it's a different sector I'm now venturing, but it can connect with what I've already studied in.
You tend to stay here and work from Finland?
Yeah, I love Finland. I love winter. I don't know why people don't love it. It's really interesting, and I think it gives people different opportunities, though it's kind of hard when it comes to have fluent... They expect you to be fluent in their language, which is really, really hard. And I can say, okay, I would want to go back home also to use the knowledge I've gained here and do something back there. It's just a 50-50 thing. If I can settle here still, if I can get to the job I'm studying in, or I can go back to home. There's no blocked thing that I can't. I have to stay in one place,
So do you feel like a pressure of you have to do something home? Do you have to?
To do something home?
Yeah. You mean Kenya, right?
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Sometimes it feels like an obligation that I have to go back and do something because it's my home, and I would want to see it more developing country to help it to be developed country like Finland, where I've been, and I've seen how many opportunities are here. I would also like to go and create more opportunities back home if I'm able to do that. Mm-hmm. So it kind of feels like an obligation I have to go and fulfill. And another way I feel like, okay, I have a life that I have to choose and do what I feel is right.
And I'm Sarah Makona. I'm from Tanzania, and I'm also a student here in Finland, an exchange student from Netherlands, and I'm here for a semester, and then I'll probably go to another country for another semester.
Sarah, you are planning to go back to your country in Tanzania very soon, right?
Not right away, because after my studies, I want to stay maybe 4 or 5 years, and precisely it's because I feel I still need the experience. Education is never really enough. I can say because I have been here for 2 years and I already know how everything works. I would love to work exactly here, to know exactly how things work, and then it's easy to bring that back home. Yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting point when you say education is not enough. And I try to look at it in your position, like you're Africans, you're women, ladies, girls, and you come to Europe, you get high education, and you still say that it's not enough. What missing?
Education. Okay, education is enough. The education you get from school. The education I'm talking about here is the field education, like
the experience. Yes.
Where you get to see, if in class they tell you, this is how you manage, for example, IT, it's theoretical, as opposed to you going out there and working for companies like IBM or Microsoft. You already know, like, how you deal with certain customers, how you handle certain, for example, scenarios. See, so if I worked in a company here abroad, that is, I would know exactly what to bring home. If I just gained education from class, that is never enough, because I don't have the exact hands-on experience that I would need to bring back home.
Please.
I guess this I'll put in a way, like when we're talking about education, where the difference of Africa back in Kenya and here. I've seen education here gives more practical, they make things more practical. They take you out there to do things. I guess that time I think I was doing something, it was a course I was doing that the teacher put us out there to try some entrepreneurship skills, some entrepreneurship things that if you want to start a business, these are the simple things, but usually hard for everyone to do. Like approaching people, sell your idea. Okay, this is the idea. Are you strong about it?
What did you do that time?
The time it was an entrepreneurship course, and then we had a group. It was 20% theory in class thing, but they give us a task where we have different challenges we need to face, and these challenges are mostly connected to how, when as an entrepreneur, the challenges you face when you start your business. It's like the teacher gave us challenges. We go out there, meet new people, sell your idea, sell something. It doesn't matter, it's a business or something. Give you a simple thing. Go meet a stranger, go welcome a stranger, go and present to a stranger something and make them, convince them that is worth it. That's what we were doing. Like, it took us the whole day of doing this, and we had to do each and every challenge. I guess I remember it was like about 15 challenges. So you have to go there and do something about it.
So practically you study things and you also put in action. You try to go in the field and experience.
It's more experience. In Finland, I think the education is so good because they make you do things. They make students, they work about students, 80% is student work. And those student work is more task, not theory only, but practicals. They make the student think. They make the student go out there and do something about
Create
it.
stuff.
Yeah.
Sarah, I think that's the reason why you also maybe choose to be an exchange student in Finland. To come and try to see what's happening here and there.
Yes.
And before that, you were in France.
I was in France.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you tell a little bit about what you are doing?
My program exactly is called IMIT, International Masters in Management of IT. But then it's a program where 3 universities come together and offer a course. Like, so if I go to a certain university, I have to abide to whatever courses they provide in that specific university. And this is good because no certain university tells the other university this is what you should offer. So I come here, I learn exactly what other Finnish students learn, and with that same curriculum, I get the experience that everybody else gets.
How do you feel being here, having higher education in Europe as a woman from Tanzania?
I would say it's enriching. It's empowering. that's the word. It's nice. It's good to know that I can, I can go to class, and then I have classmates who are not Tanzanians. I'm the only Tanzanian in this class. African, to be precise. I'm the only African in this class. And it's beautiful because I feel like I have all these ideas from different countries and different nationalities, and I see the difference, like in my country and other countries, and I feel I can like bring this, whatever I'm learning, all these ideas, I can try to like integrate them with what I'm used to back home.
Now, let's try to reflect this in Africa. So when you look at your experience, do you see like added value in what you're doing because you come to Europe and you get this education? How do you find yourself differently with other people, other African women who are still in Africa, studying in the same university in Africa? Yeah. Take into consideration the quality of studies there and Liz.
Personally, I think it all depends with personal experience. Okay, like for me, okay, I didn't do my university in Kenya. My first university I came here to Finland to do. But those who I was with in high school together, they went to the university in Kenya. Some, okay, I've seen they've graduated, got nice jobs. Some, they're still studying, they finish the degree, they do masters, they do the rest, but still hard to get a job. And others, like, they didn't even go to that university. They started the entrepreneurship. Like, I know of a guy who started doing business, and he's considered now one of the best 30 under 30. So, and if I compare with them, when it comes to it, I can have the education. I have the education, I have what it takes, like degree and all that. I had the experience for the school. But when it comes to getting job in Finland, especially because I've been in Finland, it's really hard. The opportunities are not there for foreigners. Because I think when I go to Kenya and then I look for a job, I have a degree in international business, I go there, they wouldn't give me job before they give someone who has a degree in Kenya with the same degree in Kenya. Because, okay, they will consider I have an international degree in a foreign country, but they will give someone who was already with the culture. Okay, I'm from Kenya, but the education culture is totally different from the Kenyan culture. So I think when it comes to me and someone who studied in Kenya and we go to look for a job in the same company, the opportunities here differs in a different way and a different situation and how people will take it. Yeah.
What about you, Sarah? What do you think?
I think education in Tanzania, my friends, for example, they've got awesome education. The difference between maybe I and them is they've got theoretical education. Even their practicals, they would tell me as they're working, but it's, how African offices are. You just go, you sit all day, you just input something. You don't, like, the experience isn't so real, you don't handle huge customers, you don't...
huge information.
Exactly. Yeah. You don't have all this technology, so if your scenario is limited to what you have, like the technology you have, you don't have the actual experience. That is what is different with between me and them. That is not to say that the education is any less, because I have had friends who have graduated even with limited experience. Most of them become entrepreneurs. That's the in thing these days. They become entrepreneurs and they do so well. Maybe they would have done better. That's what I think, if they had maybe experience, experience abroad, like how to, with the technology, with the infrastructure.
Why is it so that African women, ladies, girls, are much more into entrepreneurship, Liz?
I guess women enter entrepreneurship even if it's so like having a small business or something, because they lack the opportunities. You can go somewhere. You as a woman, you go with your degree or with whatever you have, the qualification, and a man goes in the same place, asks for the same job. A man gets the job, you don't get the job, not because you don't have experience, but it can be in the cultural thing where, like, okay, a woman can't do this, a woman is not capable of this, even if your degree shows you have the best grades ever. So I think most most women go to the safe zone where they think like, I'll start my own business. I'm done with this. I can't. If I try to get a job, I don't get a job. Why can't I do it myself? So I think that's the main reason why most women decide to start their own business, to be their own bosses. You know.
Sarah,
I think majorly, speaking from my perspective, is I think women just want to be independent.
Yeah.
They're so tired. The African culture is always like putting women down. They want to be independent of all this biasness. They want to be they want to make their own decisions. And they're African mothers. They want more time with their kids. If I'm an entrepreneur, I'm my own boss. I set my own time. I can have time with my kids. As opposed to maybe if I'm employed, I have to report at work certain time, and I have to come back the same time my husband does this. So if one of us is going to take care of a family, I'm an African mother, I need to be there for my family, I am going to be an entrepreneur.
Is that one quality of leadership, for example, as in making these huge decisions and try to look at the same time your families, I mean kids and your husband? Is that like...
I think that's one main thing. Women are natural leaders, you know. We can handle a lot of things, a lot of tasks at the same time. You've seen women having their own, and they've started their own business, and they're going successful. It's growing in a good pace and everything. At the same time, they want to take care of their kids. At the same time, they have to be there for their husbands. So you can imagine incorporating all these things, and you have to be there. So as a leader, you're supposed to be able to do different tasks, to be there, to make sure that the plan A, plan B, plan this, all these plans work together. What is most women do,
When you look at the culture, for example, African culture, a man is like there on top of everything. As you said, you go to a job market. When there is men, then you already feel like it's going to be men in this situation. When it comes to leadership, again, we mentioned that. Women are born leaders, but we see, especially in politics, men comes first. Like in Tanzania, they still have a quota system when it comes to leadership with women. You are still young, in school, trying to finish your education. How do you see these things changing during your times in the future? Or what do you wish? It's not necessary that you come up with a solution, but I think also you may have a wish, Liz.
For women to be leaders, it's I think about culture. They say culture, it's men giving women opportunities. Sometimes I feel, apart from the culture differences and all that, is that women are not ready to support other women. That is the only main thing that really makes women not be leaders, especially in politics. If you compare to in Kenya, the population of women is more than men. And I think even world, the population of women is more than men. If a woman wants to stand as a president, why can't all these women come together and vote for this woman? So at the end of the day, it's also the women mentality. They think, a woman can't be there. Or just, it's all this small thing that a woman, when you see a woman standing there, okay, another woman can't be there. It has to be a man. Apart from the culture differences, it's also when it comes to women themselves, they don't support each other at all. So I really hope that can change, that if we women stop our differences and everything, we just come and support each other, because we are all the same and we're all yearning for the same thing, equality,
Sarah, do you have anything about that?
Yes, for the future, women, we've come a long way. We've come a long way. There were times that a woman wouldn't even get education, but today we have women who are educated, we have women who are leaders. a woman. General Motors CEO is a woman. You know, Facebook CEO is a woman. All these big companies, there's a woman out there leading them. Angela Merkel, for example, the most powerful woman in the world. So I think women these days draw a lot of inspiration from all these public figures, and most of there've been a lot of programs out there trying to support women. You know, now we know our rights, what we need, and in future we'll have this a lot. You know, women are competing against men. I should say the only problem we have is women against women. We don't think, you know, wherever there's a woman, we don't think she'll be good enough like a man. We tend to trust men more as compared to our fellow women. But I believe in future there's there's going to be more women out there. You know, there's women empowerment. Feminists grow every single day. They're always fighting for their rights. The problem is we don't know, when you're too much of a feminist, you don't know when to stop. Yeah. And maybe this might ruin our culture because you're a feminist now, you forget, I'm a married woman, I'm African, I'm just as strong as a man in this house. Maybe that's the future. That's what I see, for our culture at least. It might be a good thing, but it's not good for the African culture.
How do you feel, you guys, when you're not in Africa and there's not that culture pressure on you, like now, when you're in Europe? Or you still feel like the culture is hunting you?
Oh, definitely. I'm never rid of my culture. Never, ever. I can't say I'm away and I can do whatever I want. No. Just the other day, if I post something, my mom is like, why do you have this? This is not the African culture. You have to remove this photo. This is so wrong. Or you can't do this, And even if my mom is not there, there's this conscious, at the back. I grew up in a certain way, certain cultures are instilled in me, certain things. And yes, there's a few things that I would want to do, but some things that I think I want to do that I don't think the African culture will approve, I would just,
skip them.
Yeah. I think growing up like this, you say you get freedom, but then for me at least, when I go out there, I just get scared. Something just told me I don't have to, it's not like I've changed everything about myself. I'm still African, I feel it. Yeah.
That's really hard. What do you think, Liz?
I think it's true. Nothing changes. Even if now I came to Finland and I lived in where family it's really strict, and Christians, we had to go to church every Sunday. You have to do all this, and you don't have to do this and all that. You find yourself, you're really accustomed to that. There are things you can't change at all. The culture in you will never come out of it. You just have to do whatever. Even if I break rules most of the time. But there are things that I cannot do because it's not about the culture. Because also I feel it's not right, and it's part of the culture also, That's how it tames me, and I think I'm still Kenyan, and I'll always be Kenyan, no matter where I go. The culture in me will always still be. Like the saying, you remove someone from the village, but you'll never remove the village from them.
Exactly.
That's me.
I don't know, your future plans, but maybe you may have families soon. How do you want to educate your kids? You want them, especially women, you want them to be long in that culture, to be raised in the same culture and then feel the same way you are feeling now? Or what do you plan, and how you plan to do that?
For me, I'm still an African woman, and my kids will be always Africans, and they'll know what's supposed to be an African kid. And it doesn't matter who am I going to get married to, but they will know where. They always say the kids is the mothers. So my kids, no matter the dad from wherever he will be, they'll always be my kids and my African kids. So the culture, they have African to know. Kids? And I have to send them back to Kenya to learn every language.
And what else? What do you mean by African culture?
Not African culture, my own, my tribe. I'm Kenyan, and I'm from mixed tribe, Kikuyu and Kalenjin, and I think they'll have to know. I don't speak both of the languages, but they'll speak it for me.
Okay.
I'm that strict. I'll be that strict, really.
What about you?
Growing up, I've not lived in. Growing up, I've lived in different countries, and somehow I have a little bit of every culture in in all these countries. And not every culture from a different country is bad. You know, some things are beautiful. I would love to integrate in my own culture. You know, I think that's what makes beauty, you know, the difference, that diversity. So my kids, definitely, there are things I would definitely change about the African culture, like spanking them. No, I'm not saying there's something wrong with spanking. I grew up with a little spanking from my mom, and I'm disrespectful. Yeah,
it's good.
Yes, but there are some certain things that I think are a bit too extreme, and I want to have this relationship. You know, African culture, it's not easy to have this relationship with your parents. For example, you talk about your boyfriends, or you know, this personal relationship you have with your friend, like a friend relationship. It's not the African way. I'm lucky my mom is different. Maybe also she's influenced differently, but I saw how this is very nice. Like it's not the African culture, but this is one of the different cultures I would like to integrate in my culture. So there's some things I would like to change, but maybe a few percent. I'm not changing anything. I'm just trying to add some good things from other cultures into my culture. That if I'm going to discipline my kid is going to be disciplined. A few spanking, definitely, but I don't believe in changing everything. You know, as I said, the beauty of the world is its diversity. Yeah. There's no certain culture that is perfect. Every culture is perfect in its own. Yeah.
Maybe you may pick by yourself on what you want to talk to conclude this kind of discussion.
For me, I think I'll conclude with about opportunities when it comes to women. I just hope the future brings more opportunity for women, you know, the way you don't, like, women be seen according to the experience, you know, like you're seen as a woman, okay, you're a woman, you can't do this. So I just hope there's more opportunity in the future. And then, okay, when it comes to diversity, it doesn't matter which, like, you're from Africa, you're from Europe, you're from everywhere, all the same, and our diversity bring us together. And it's the way she would say, it's the beauty of this world anyway. So I think for the future, I would hope that we get more opportunity as women, and then we don't see men as the reason we are not succeeding in this life, you know.
For me, I wish there's more love in between all of us, like the women, for instance. And most importantly, I wish we believed in ourselves more. I feel the reason we're still stuck is because, you know, we always have, my teacher calls it the imposter syndrome. We're always worried, what will people think? Am I good enough? If I go out there, I'm just a woman. You know, my views are not as good as some so-and-so. So I wish we have more confidence in our view, in our abilities. Yeah.
Last thing. Give 3 words to an African woman.
You're the future.
You're perfect.
Thank you very much.